On my left is Viola Davis. She's won everything there is to win. Emmy, Oscar, Grammy, Tony. She graduated from Juilliard, the best creative school that there is. She's the height of the game. Then you have me, who used to do children's church acting.
Hi guys, what's up? The video you're about to watch now will bless you. I promise you. I promise you. See that thing you're looking for? God will make you find it, and He has prepared it already for you. See and watch this video.
This is the beginning of the testimony, because my cousin says to me, you should compile your resume. And I say, compile my resume. We don't use resumes in Hollywood. Your face is your resume. If you are known, you are known. People call you, work comes to you. He said, you never know. So I spent a couple of days during lockdown compiling my resume. They say that luck happens when preparation meets opportunity. The Bible says that Elijah said there would not be rain for years, but in the time he went to pray and the rain fell, the Bible says the crops grew. In other words, they were farmers who were planting even in the time of drought and putting their seed in the ground in anticipation for when rain would come. You don't wait for the rain to start before you start planting your seed. The Bible says he told Isaac, in the time of famine, sow in the land. But anyways, I said, I compiled my resume. Didn't think nothing of it. I didn't need it for acting anyways, but I just compiled it. I forgot about it. In 2021, I had a crazy dream. And I told my friend, I said, you know what? You see that Hollywood? I'm going. And it was Demi. Demi was like, I said, Demi, I said, it will shock you. I'll reach Hollywood before you. Wait. How it was going to happen, I did not know. As a matter of fact, in the history of the industry, it has never happened that someone will come from here while they are here and go there. It doesn't happen like that. But me, because for me, my case is different. I believe that I have a God who can make the impossible possible. Because where it is not working for me, it must work. Because I know the capacity of my God. So I said, how it will happen? I don't know. But you see that Hollywood? I'm going. It's 2021, beginning of, I kept saying it to anyone who would hear. You see me? I'm going to Hollywood. Word explosion. Ask God for one thing, I said, hey, tell my friend, see me, Hollywood. I'm going. In April, I was doing a photo shoot, and my friend says, do headshots. Headshots are what you submit on resumes when you're trying to get a part. Do headshots. I don't need headshots now for anything. Who needs headshots? They do headshots. Okay. Well, they took the pictures. I didn't even edit it because I didn't even select it. We just took the ones we were doing for, and that was that. In August, I told my PA, I said, Enoch, this is the last Nollywood set I'm going to be on in August. I said, look around, enjoy it. I'm not doing Nollywood again after this. Because that Hollywood, I'm going. In the end of August, or maybe September, I'm not sure, probably September, I get a DM. For a moment, and that is direct message. Say, did you DM? A direct message in my inbox on Instagram, in my spam. Not the people that I interact with. You have a spam folder for people that are not your friends that you do not know. I got a spam message. And the question was, would you be interested in doing some work internationally? Work. I'm always available for work. I said, for how many days? They said 3 months, 4 months. Because in Nollywood, most actors are contractors. You pay us per day. That's how you pay us per day. We do the work. How many days? That's how. Time is money. 3 days is this. 1 day is this. So we calculate. I said, how many? I said 3 months. I said, I'm rather expensive. You want to hold me down for 4 months, 3 months? He said, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I said, okay, no problem. I'm open. So they send me some sides. Sides are like scenes taking out. They said, pick any 2 characters. Do you want to record in your house or come and do a video? I said, I'll come and do a video. He said, come to Adeni Jones. I said, okay, cool. I came to Adeni, went to Adeni Jones. I did one 30-year-old guy that his body was hot. I said, oh, it fits me, I'm ready. He said, okay, there's this other character. He's 50 years old. You should do it as well. 50, but I don't look 50. He said, just do it. Okay, no problem. So I did it. Didn't think anything about it. The next day, I forgot to mention, in June, I was preparing for a thing where I was trying to do this, my stay. I've been putting off in London for a while. And I went to the drop-off place in June, and they asked me a question if I wanted to submit my passport or keep it. Now, I'd been so busy, I had no plans to travel, but I heard a voice. God said clearly, keep your passport. So in June, I said, I'll keep it. Okay. So remember, resume, lockdown. Headshots, April. June, passport, kept. So I do this, I do the audition, do the save. The next day I get a call. Do you have headshots and a resume? And I was out there. They said, actually, I do. I think I do. Okay, wait. It's okay. You need to send it before 10 p.m. I rushed home. Went to go and get my resume. Nonsense devil. That's the first time my laptop crashed. But luckily for me, God always makes a way. I had made it a PDF and I had saved it somewhere else. So I tried to, because I'd done an additional 30 movies that year that are not updated since 2020. But I didn't know, I just said, you know what, there's no time. I just changed some to 2021. I just sent it. Unedited headshots, I sent it. Went to that folder, sent. Didn't think anything of it. I said, okay. Then I get a call 2 weeks later that I should come back for a callback. Okay, but I did 2 roles. Which one? They said for the general. I said, but the man is 50. They said they will age you. Okay. I came back and I did the role. Read. Still not knowing what I was reading for. Had zero idea what I was just doing what they asked me to do. Then, I had gotten a role for another project supposed to start in September that got moved, but I decided I was going to clear my schedule, change my body, so I changed my diet. I stopped eating meat, stopped eating chicken, was doing vegetables and juicing because I wanted to be slim, and I was big before, now I'm skinny because I've been carrying spiritual weight. So I've not had time. They said, just a bit gym. Jesus is my gym. I told somebody, I said, all the fasting I've not fasted my whole life. In the 4 months or 3 months I've been fasted. Hey! I said, Holy Spirit. If people are laughing, it's okay. So I said I was going to change my body. I was doing all this thing in preparation for this role. Then I got the message and I'm doing all of this. Then I get back from shooting at 5:30 in the morning for a director, and I go on Instagram, and John Boyega had just posted. Oh man, he had just posted that he was excited to announce that he was going to be joining the cast of Woman King as King Gezo. I'm like, King Gezo? I know this name now. I've been King Gezo. Wait. So I click. For the first time, I've never gone to Viola's page. I've watched her on TV. I've seen her in Fences. I've watched How to Get Away with Murder. I was up on that show. So I click on Viola's page, and then I start scrolling back. And then I realize that they made the announcement for the movie in 2019. Then COVID happened in 2020. Then they postponed it to 2021. Because God knew that it had to happen for me. Because in 2019, see, sometimes you see, timing is everything. The right thing at the wrong time is the wrong thing. Sometimes we are praying for stages that we have not been developed to be able to inhabit yet. And God is holding the door shut, not because He's a wicked God, but He's preparing you so when the time comes and you step on the stage, you are qualified to occupy what He has been kept in store for you the whole time. In 2019, King of Boys happened. I was like, why Sabi acts now? Then 2020 doing KLB2, well 2021, I was like, okay. They called me up to do a role and I thought I was going to do it. Last minute that didn't happen. Then Blood Sisters was coming out with Ebony Life and I got a call for an audition. And then somehow I didn't like the way I was handled and then they offered me some nonsense money and I said absolutely not, because you must know your value. And I said no. And they said, I said no, I'm not doing it. I was like, God, how far? These are supposed to be two big things. And somehow, and God said to me, I remember, He said, all you need is one. And I said, okay. I remember I was skipping in my room, preparing for a role that I did not know was coming. People would ask me, what are you working on? Are you going to war? What are you looking for in the gym? Leave me. Because I had a dream. Sometimes you might be building an ark and everybody is wondering why you are building. Because the land is dry. But the one that has spoken to you has told you, prepare, a flood is coming. And so your actions don't line up with your reality. It's not meant to line up. Because it's not about where you are, it's about where you are going. So I find out that they announced in 2019, delayed COVID 2020, postponed to 2021. They were shooting 2021 November. And this was in September. I was reading this and I saw that her character name was Naniska. But I've been reading, whatever I've been reading for the role has been interacting with a Naniska and a Gezo. And for the first time, the light bulb went off in my head that this is the project that I am reading for. And my knees went out. And I fell to my knees and tears as I said, God, first of all, thank you that my name is even being considered in the league of such people. That I did a video in Adeni Jones, but they are discussing my name in LA, in Hollywood. Then I went into my living room and I knelt down and I said a prayer. I said, God, by this, as you have shown it to me, you will give it to me. I said, this will be my validation. That everyone who has doubted that you opened the doors, by this you will validate me. I went to the corner of my room. I said, Elisha was in the corner of his room and he could see everything happening in the king's chamber. I said, so I go into the corner of my room and I begin to send your word to that office where they are discussing my name. Anywhere they mention my name, favor will speak for me. So I decided, I said, see this thing, I'm getting it. And then I got a call. He said, okay, can you fly to South Africa to do a read with the director? I said, I'm ready. I've cleared my schedule. Let's go. But the problem is South African embassy takes time. You know what? Let's just do a Zoom. I told them no problem. Told them to put on a generator. I said they should not turn it off. Let not Nigeria happen to me. Let's avoid stories that touch. Turn the generator on and leave it on. Whether there's light or whether there's no light, leave it. Not in the middle of my audition. Ha ha ha! Push. Blackouts in America, whether it's winter and stuff. All Nigerians, calm. Oh my God! Oh, when you're used to 1 week no lights, couple hours you are shaking. You know, come on, are you good? You good? You good? Everybody's chill. All Nigerians, bros, how you doing? You alright? God bless Nigeria. You know, when you survive in hardship, you thrive in ease. That's why they don't understand why we are everywhere in the world we're a problem. Because we survive under crazy circumstances. You now take us into instruction of I will not God punish the devil. There's light, there's internet, and you will now not walk. But I told them, turn it on. So I'm doing the audition. She's giving me tips back and forth, whatever the case, great. She says, can we talk? I said, no problem. She says, so this character is going to be playing alongside Viola Davis. It doesn't get any bigger than Viola Davis. Do you think you have what it takes? I said, thank you very much, ma. I said, first of all, I'd like to say that I'm a big fan of Viola Davis. How to Get Away with Murder, Fences, The Help, fantastic. You know, I just love her work. She's an amazing actress. You know, I said, but, you know, for me, I will tell you that I've been preparing for this role my whole life. I said, I love 300, I love Gladiator, and I've always wished to be in an epic that is African, that is our story. And people always ask me why I work out the way I work out, because in my mind I've been preparing for a role that I did not know would come. And when you play alongside the best, you must bring out your best. I said, so as much as I love Viola Davis and she's the best at what she does, I said, ma, you have not met Jimmy Odukoya. I said, put me in the game, coach, I'm ready to play. She said, okay. She said, I like you, but the final decision lies with Sony. And you must understand that the antagonist is an important part of the story. Without darkness, you can't appreciate light. So whoever plays the bad guy must be a bad guy. Because his presence must be equal to that of the good. So I understood, because it made no sense why a studio would trust that position to an unknown that they had never seen. They had casted for all the major leads, and that one role had not been filled. As a matter of fact, I came to find out they had gone to 5 different countries trying to fill this one role. When God says something is for you, it will topple governments. He will break down structures. He will do whatever he needs to do. How is it that an Israelite will now enter the palace and become the second in command to an Egyptian? Me in Lagos. You must understand that it's impossible to get any roles in Hollywood without an agent. I did not have an agent. I got a DM. They had gone to 5 countries because agents will work with casting directors. And casting directors, they went casting in the US. They could not find anyone to fill the role in the United States. In the UK, they found none suitable. In France, they went to Paris. They could not find anyone suitable. They went to Ghana. They could not find anybody suitable. They looked in South Africa. They could not find anyone suitable. Because God said, this one is for my son. Until when they could not find anybody, they called a friend in Nigeria. Do you know any actors that are muscular and can act? There is a role that we are trying to fill, and we can't seem to find anyone to fill this role. Okay, let me look through a list of people that I think I know. That's when she sends me a DM. For somebody here, God will create a problem that only you will be the solution to. In the name of Jesus. The Bible says that there was a spirit that came from God to torment Saul. A spirit came from God to torment Saul. And only when David played with his harp did he find peace. Inkla anda bushakata ibresa. For somebody here today, God is orchestrating a situation where only you will be the solution to. In the name of Jesus. They went to 5 countries. They could not find anyone. Then they came to Nigeria. And then this happened. And then they asked for headshots and resumes. And then, so she says, great, we'll get back to you. Let's see what Sony says. I went back. I said, Father, you who have brought me this far, because you who have begun the good work is faithful and just. Stop looking at the calendar. Stop looking at the clock. He's not restricted by time. He's outside of time. He's in your past, present, future, all at the same time. You can't measure God by your limited understanding of time. Time? God is outside of time. He bends time to his will. 1,000 years is like a day, and a day is like 1,000 years. So I'm waiting. And then they say, listen, in the meantime, I'm going to send you some stunts to see if you can stunt. Say, can you ride horse? I can ride. I send them video of me riding. Can you fight? Can you say anything? Give me the thing. It's not choreography. 1, 2, 3. See, you don't realize that everything in your life, God will use everything in your life. There is no such thing as a wasted experience. The Bible says he will cause all things to work together for your good. There were times when I was inside riding these horses that looked like they were about to die in Nollywood, and my sister sent me a video. She said, why are you wicked? You look like you're bigger than the horse. That the horse is even praying that, please get off me. But sir, I was riding. See, when you are faithful over a little, you see, we are waiting for the big break. When God does it, no. If you are faithful over the little, he's giving you 1 talent, you have buried it, but you're asking for 5. If you are faithful over a little, then he will commit much into your hand. Everything in your life, God will use. So guess what? Fighting is choreography now. He's 1, 2. We used to dance in church. RGK, 1, 2. I said, see, does it dance? Anything, 1, 2, 3, let's do it. It's dance. I said I will do it because I must understand that they have been training for months since June. They've been training since June. If we wait for the decision to come, you might be stuck because it takes a long time for the embassy to give visas for South Africa. So we're going to try to book you an appointment so you can get your visa before the decision. So when decision drops, if you say yes, you can go. They tried to reach the South African embassy in Nigeria, but they couldn't. So they came back and said, listen, we have all the documents, but the problem is we have not been able to secure an appointment for you. But if you go to the embassy and you happen to enter, then you are fine. Now, anyone who has ever gone to the embassy knows that you cannot go to the embassy without an appointment. The first thing they will ask you when you reach is, where is your appointment letter? Because that shows the date in which you can come. I said, favor goes before me. Give it to me. I said, I will enter. I printed, see, I walk in the understanding that I get backing. He says, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. I have an awareness of the God that I carry on the inside of me. I said, listen, give me. Favor goes before me, I'm going. I printed my documents. I went to South African embassy with no appointment date. And I got there. And the audacity of God. I went there. They asked me, they said, sir, where is your appointment letter? I said, I do not have one, but I'm meant to be here. He said, enter. In less than 30 seconds, I was inside with no appointment letter. He said, wait here. He says, go upstairs and ask for the manager. Get to the door. Sir, where is your appointment letter? I don't have an appointment letter, but I'm meant to be here. Okay, wait for the manager. He's busy. The manager sees me, says, wait for me. I'm sitting down. The manager comes to me, he says, follow me. I follow him. He takes me into the VIP room. He says, sit down. I sat down. He brings out a form. He says, fill it. I fill it. He asked me for payment. It was inside the VIP room that I filled my form and I paid for my appointment. Inside. Okay. I said, I don't tell everybody, I've gone to Hollywood. Because God cannot bring me this far to leave me now. South African embassy takes at least 2 to 3 months for them to answer you. In 10 days, my passport came out. So there I was waiting. And I got the call. Sonny has approved. I got my passport out on the 12th of October. By the 14th, I was on a flight to South Africa. By November 2nd, I was shooting. And so here I am. I remember they were going to introduce me to go and meet Viola. I'm walking in. It's like, let's go. Let's introduce you to meet Viola. I was like, hey, Jesus. You know, it's like you're doing like this, but you just, come on. Nigerians, come on. Chest out. I said, ma'am, it's such an honor. She's like, oh my God, this is who I have to fight? I said, oh my God, this is who I have to fight? She was saying that because I was big. I was like, oh my God, you're Viola Davis. And we would be on set and I'm asking myself, how? I was watching her on TV. They say, Viola, first action, Jimmy, second action. And I'd be there, be saying, wait, what? When the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like those that tree. I remember right before the scene, we were in a room. On my left is Viola Davis. She's won everything there is to win. Emmy, Oscar, Grammy, Tony. She graduated from Juilliard. I remember right before the scene, we were in a room. On my left is Viola Davis. She's won everything there is to win. Emmy, Oscar, Grammy, Tony. She graduated from Juilliard, the best creative school that there is. She's the height of the game. Then you have me, who used to do children's church acting. Hey, hey. Who started in church? Who heard a voice and said, go and do this, and doors began to open? When God will amplify your little. Who says when God has no says?